So it's my final countdowns, right? It's my days before I officially leave Japan, go back to my good old country, like the big boy America. Now at the time Trump was president, right? Was Trump president? I think so. So it's not really about Trump or whatever, like who cares? But anyways, at the time I was in Hirosaki City, right? So Hirosaki City is a pretty small place, right? If you want to get to know everybody, you really can. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. But you can. And if you go to like one townhouse meeting, you can get to know everybody who live in the city, bro. Their apartment, their names, anything, bro. You'll find out everybody information. That's how small the city is, right? Everybody's kind of like family, like nakama, you know. It's like a One Piece type of thing. And so my final few weeks, I was walking around and I was like, you know, I'm trying to do something fun. I'm trying to meet some new people. Let me make some more memories before I go, right? Because I don't want to leave, feel like I didn't accomplish something. Of course I didn't accomplish something. You know, my whole life and my living situation in Japan was great, but I want to leave at least with a banger, right? And so I go to izakaya, right? Now izakaya is where a bunch of young people hang out, right? They all, you know, hang out, you know, drink, eat, you know. It's like usually a group of 5 or more people, 3 or more people to be more exact. And so I walk into a random izakaya. I was like, okay, I'm gonna find a random people, sit down, speak Japanese, make some friends, and you know, hopefully we'll go somewhere with it. So I just find this random group of people and I say, and I'm gonna pick you. And so I just sit down, right? And they say, yo, who are you? I'm like, yo, I'm KYODA. Nice to meet you. I speak Japanese, black from America, you know, all the good jazz or whatever, right? They say, yo, your Japanese really good. They say, do you go to like Hirosaki University? I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, oh, okay. They say, yeah, nice to meet you. So we clicked it out pretty easy, right? Because everybody had like the same background for the most part. But this one girl stood out to me the most. Her name is Haruka. So Haruka, she was like, yeah, I went to America. I studied abroad in New Zealand, all that fun jazz, right? She was just talking. She's like, yeah, my name is Haruka. It's nice to meet you and stuff. Her English was really, really good. So I was like, yo, nice to meet you too. And so I ended up getting only out of everybody who was there, I only get her contact information. Cause I was like, you know what? Let me make something out of with her. Like, let me make a connection with her. And so a few days or so go past. Like, we meet up at school and stuff. We text every now and then. Like, we go in the library to study together, all that stuff, right? And Haruka was really cool, and I really did enjoy her company. But to be honest with you, and this may be scummy, this may be scumbaggish. I can't help it. You know, I'm a man, I'm a human being. But my goal was to just smash. Not smash, I should smash. Smash as in, you know what I mean. Like, man, that's my only goal, right? It's kind of scummy, but you know, I'm about to leave. Why do I care? And so I finally get her into my room, right? It took me like a week or two to get her finally into my room. And so, you know, we start breaking it down, right? I start getting into motions. I start getting everything ready. And then, you know, I end up doing the deed. With the deed there, and the job was done. I signed the contract. It's all over, right? And so after we was done, I noticed she was in the kitchen and she was like smiling. She was giggling and stuff. She said, oh, she might have a boyfriend and stuff. I'm like, oh, whoa. Boyfriend? Where you get boyfriend from? What you doing about that boyfriend? Where you get that word boyfriend from and stuff? She said, oh yeah, like she said in Japanese culture, after you do something with another boy, you know, in that type of manner, you're dating officially. And I said, oh. I said, that's cap. I was like, you see the hat on my head? I'm like, that's cap. They wanted to why? Because Japan has a bunch of love hotels all over the place, all over the country, really. So I said, if that was the case, then everybody would be having a relationship right now. She said, oh, no. She said, with me, that's the case. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, all right, you know, whatever you say, I'm going to leave anyway, because I'm not going to tell when I'm going to leave. I can already tell she was kind of crazy anyway. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to leave, but I'm going to leave anyway. So I'm about to disappear faster than my dad. You feel me? Okay, so I was like, okay, whatever, right? You know, I'm trying to keep her peace or whatever, her inner peace. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, disrupt it at the final moments. We meet up a few more times. We do the deed or whatever, and she's like, oh yeah. She said, I'm thinking I'm in love with you and stuff. She's like, oh my god, I used to. I'm like, ooh. She said, do you like me? I'm like, yeah, I like you. She said, are we like officially dating or whatever? Like, you my boyfriend now? I'm like, look, Haruka, man. I was like, look, Haruka. We're not that, like, that's not our title. I don't feel that way about you, none of that, right? And so as we're in the room together, and you can tell like she was getting physically more angry. Like you can see in her face, like she was just getting red and stuff. Like she was getting angry. You see her eyes just turn to the freaking devil themselves, right? And so she just stormed out the room. Next day, I would go to school, like nothing happened, right? But my friends would tell me, oh yeah, congratulations, KYODA. I'm like, you dating Haruka? She a baddie. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, oh, what you mean I'm dating her? She said, yeah, she came up here and told us. I'm like, how she found the office? She said, yeah, everybody know where our office at. I'm like, well, we're not dating, but I went ahead and debunked that. I went and said it, and I texted her, I'm like, yo, we're not dating. Stop telling my friends that. And I was like, I'm about to block you, right? And she's like, no, don't block me. She said, I'm sorry. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, right? And so I didn't text her for another 2 days or so. 2 days go past. I noticed like a figure behind me all the time when I'm going to class. Usually I go to class by myself because I always have something in my head, like or music or something like that. So usually I'm going to class. I'm like, yo, who's behind me? And I look behind me, ain't nobody there. So I'm like, all right, nothing's wrong. I'm just going to class. So class is over. That one day, walk out. It was hard. I'm like, yo, how you find my class? So she said about the past 2 days ago, she's been following me around campus. She's been looking around, going around stuff. I'm like, don't you got class and stuff? Don't you got stuff? She's like, oh no. She said, don't worry about that. She said, I'm care about you. She said, my grades right now is fine. She said, don't worry about it. I looked at her. I'm like, oh, okay. And so as I was walking, like trying to walk past her, because at this point I want to ignore her. She grabbed my hand. She started holding my hand. We started walking down the hallway and stuff, holding hands like a lovey-dovey couple. Like, mind you, don't see this in Japan often. Like two university students holding hands. So we holding hands, walking down. So she holding on to my arm and stuff. Boy, I'm trying to push her off. I'm trying to push her off, bro. I know this is shallow, but you got to hear me out. My goal was not to do that, bro. I'm not trying to get in a relationship. It's no point, right? It's no point. I'm leaving Japan. I don't like doing online dating or long distance dating anyway. Like, there's no point. And so I'm like, look, I pull her over. I'm like, look, man, we're not that. Like, I keep bragging it to her. I'm like, we're not that. We're not dating. You understand my English, right? Baby, we are not dating. I don't feel this way about you at all, right, Haruka? And she said, okay, I understand. And so she walked off. And I think, okay, this all of it. Like, she understands. She walks off. Nothing's gonna happen, right? And so that following night, that same night, bro. At the moments I was about to go to sleep, I heard like rocks bang on my window with it, right? Started throwing my window, boom, boom, boom. I'm looking, I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like the birds and stuff, or like wherever it case me, like cars driving past and like the rocks pick up. But this was like, there was no like cars or nothing. I couldn't hear nothing. So I opened my window. I'm like, yo, who is this? And I peep out. Like, mind you, I had like a patio. So I walked out the patio. I look out, and mind you, this street boy at nighttime, the most scariest thing ever, dude. It's like a dark street and just one lamppost, right? Like light post, whatever in the sky, one down. And I tell you, bro, she was underneath that light post. Boy, when my heart jumped out my stomach, bro, I was about to throw up, man. I was so scared. Oh my God. I can't believe that actually happened. I just looked at her. I'm like, yo, what's wrong? Like, why are you over here for? And she's like, yeah, I miss you and stuff. She's like, I'm about to go soon, but can I stay with you and all that stuff? And then she was holding her hands behind her back. I'm like, what's behind your back? You know, because you never know. It could be a knife or something. Like, I was just scared. She said, what you mean what's behind my back? I'm like, let me see your hands and you can come in, right? I'm like, let me see your hands. Yeah, just in case it's a knife, a gun, or wherever the case may be, right? Because I'm cautious, right? Because she knock them out, like she throwing rocks in my window stuff. Well, that's scary. You never know. Like, honestly, you gotta be in that situation to realize that is scary, boy. You never feel so uncomfortable in your life, boy. Man, I'm telling you, like, God, what I'm saying, bro. You gotta see it to believe it. And so she was like, ain't nothing behind my hands. And so she showed me her hands, nothing. She was like, nothing, no knife, no nothing, right? And I let her in. We spent like the night together and stuff. And she was like crying on my shoulder. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna miss you, all that thing and stuff. She said, I'm sorry that I stalked you. Sorry I followed you around campus and stuff. Sorry I took pictures of you while you didn't know. I'm like, you took pictures of me? I was like, what you talking about? And so she opened her phone, and I was looking through her phone. Boy, when I tell you, it was like 100 pictures straight of me just walking around campus, talking to my friends, smiling and all that stuff. I didn't even notice I was taking pictures like that. I'm like, dang, if I knew she was gonna take pictures like that, I would have got cleaned up. You know what I mean? I had a mustache trim. I would have had the haircut and everything, boy. She was taking pictures of me when I was looking around. I was upset about that part. And she said, yeah, I'm just gonna miss you and all that stuff, right? And I said, Haruka, let me make this promise with you, okay? Whenever I come back to Japan, I will meet you, okay? I'll meet you, we'll talk like friends again and everything like that, right? And she said, does that mean we have to break up? I'm like, baby, what don't you get? What don't you get? We wasn't dating in the first place. And so she said, okay, I understand. So we slept together that night. We didn't do the deed, but we just slept together that night. And so she left early in the morning. She apologized and she just walked out. And so I remember this story because recently she texted me. She asked me when I'm coming back to Japan. Baby, it's Corona season. It's Corona season right now. The answer is never.